Hey guys, this is Stacy from EatTheBite.com, and today I'm making a fantastic homemade chocolate cream pie with graham cracker crust. Let me show you how to make it. We'll make the graham cracker crust first. Break apart some graham crackers right into your mini food processor, and if you don't have one, just put the graham cracker pieces in a Ziploc bag and use a rolling pin to make the crumbs. Get the lid locked and grind the graham crackers down to somewhat fine crumbs. Next, we'll transfer into a large bowl, add some sugar, give it a mix. After that, we'll add some melted butter. And you'll want to give that a mix around until all the graham cracker crumbs are coated in the butter. And it looks like this. After that, we'll transfer the mixture to a 9 or 10-inch pie plate. And I used my hands here to press gently on the crumbs until it's evenly distributed across the bottom with a slight slope around the edges like you see here. You want to bake this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. Then take it out and let it cool completely. We'll need 5 egg yolks for this recipe, so set up 2 small dishes, one for the whites and one for the yolks. I'm sure you've seen or done this before, but just crack the egg in half and rotate the yolk back and forth between the 2 shells until all the white part falls away. And you'll need to do this for all 5 eggs. Once the eggs are done, you will still have all the egg whites, but you can put those back in the fridge and make yourself an omelet later. I'm going to gently whisk the egg yolks together. You don't want to beat them the way you would beat scrambled eggs, but just stir them gently with the whisk or fork until the yolks are well combined. And we'll set that aside for now. I'm using 4 ounces of unsweetened chocolate for this, and I love the Ghirardelli brand, so that's the one I went with. Just break the squares apart and put in a bowl like this, then microwave the chocolate in 20 to 30 second increments and mix in between until all the chocolate is melted like this. So here are all the components for the filling. I've got sugar, egg yolks, salt, cornstarch. I've got whole milk in a large pot, softened butter, vanilla extract, and perhaps the most important ingredient, the melted chocolate. Now I gotta move this operation over to the stove. I heated the milk a few minutes on its own, added the sugar, then I'm going to sift that cornstarch in like you see here, and I'll whisk it again here to make sure the cornstarch gets incorporated well, add a little salt, keep mixing. Then I added the egg yolks and continued mixing again. And I did let this heat on its own for a few minutes, then I mixed it again. I also added that vanilla, and you can really see now how it's starting to thicken up. Get that softened butter in there and whisk it right into the mixture. And lastly, we are going to get all of that melted chocolate scraped out of the bowl and into our pot. We'll continue mixing here until the chocolate is fully incorporated into the mix, and you want to make sure you get a spatula to scrape down the sides of your pot as well. We'll give it one final mix, and here is our finished product. And I actually did time the whole process in the pot, and start to finish, this took about 12 minutes. I'm going to move my pot to the back burner to let this cool down, and after it's cooled off, we'll pour the whole thing right on top of that awesome graham cracker crust. We'll smooth it out over the top like you see here. Next, we'll cover that in plastic wrap, and I usually stick mine in the fridge overnight to let it set and chill. The next day, I'll make whipped cream to go on top, which is very easy. We're going to put some heavy cream in a bowl, add a little sugar, and I'll use a handheld blender to whip it up. It looks like this in the beginning, like this in the middle when it starts to thicken, and like this at the end when it actually becomes whipped cream. It should take about 5 to 7 minutes. One last thing before we assemble this pie is to shave a little cold chocolate right off a chocolate bar like this. And you'll just need a couple tablespoons at the most, which we'll sprinkle on top of the pie. To assemble, we'll take off that plastic wrap. I'm going to add a blob of whipped cream to one side and a blob of whipped cream to the other side. And now just take a minute or two to spread it out evenly across the top of the pie. After that, we'll take that shaved chocolate and we're going to sprinkle that right across the top. And here's our finished product, chocolate cream pie with graham cracker crust. All that's left to do now is cut myself a nice little slice of pie and eat the bite. This is a chocolate lover's dream, and that graham cracker crust puts it over the top, in my opinion. And the easy whipped cream is the perfect topper. I think this is a very approachable chocolate cream pie recipe, and it is absolutely delicious. I hope you enjoy this one as much as I do, and thanks so much for watching. See you next time.